today here at Carroll Lutheran Village, we are going to be making a fresh fruit bruschetta. So bruschetta is traditionally with tomatoes, but today we are going to be doing a savory fruit bruschetta. And we're going to use mango in that, which I have here, and some fresh pineapple. So we're going to start to put together our bruschetta mixture. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mince up our red onion. And you don't have to use red onion. You can do a white onion if you prefer. We want to mince that really small because we don't want to bite into big chunks of onion. So we're just going to clean that off there, take the skin off. And we're just going to do some very small minced onion. Always want to use your safety glove. Going to chop that up really small. We don't need a whole lot. And see how nice and fine that is. And then we're going to dice our fruit. So you can use any kind of fruit. You can use a tropical fruit. You can use seasonal fruit if you would like. You can do some kind of berries if you would like. But what I have here is some diced fresh pineapple. You can see how small that is. Diced fresh pineapple. And we also did some diced fresh mango as well. So we are going to put that in our mixing bowl. Put that mango in there. And our pineapple. And our diced onion. It's going to go in there as well. All right. Also, we have some fresh cilantro. You can use cilantro. You could use mint if you would like, but I like to snip the leaves right off the stem. So you don't want to get the stemmy part in there. Just want to pull those leaves off, just like that. And we're going to chop that up nice and fine again. And we're going to put that in our bruschetta mixture. So we're going to chop that really fine. This is a great dish for the summertime. Using anything fresh, local fruit. Works great with peaches as well. I'm just going to chop that up really nice there. And we're going to add that to our mixture. Okay. I always like to put a little bit of crunch and a little bit of color in my bruschetta mixture. So I have chopped up here real fine some red peppers. So we're going to put that in there as well. You can see how pretty that looks now. All right, now we're ready to add some seasoning and some oil to it. So a little bit of olive oil, which is typical in a bruschetta mixture. I've got some sea salt, a tiny bit of that in there. Little bit of ground pepper to give it some spice. And also, a little bit of sweetness. We're going to put some honey in there too. That's always nice. And it kind of helps hold it together a little bit. So you just want a little bit. You don't want it super sweet. All right. So also, I like to put a little squeeze of fresh lime. You can use lemon if you don't have a lime. Just a little bit in there. Squeeze that in there. And this is great left over in the refrigerator overnight. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix this up, put it in the refrigerator, and we're going to put our bruschetta together tomorrow. So you can see how that's coming together there. It's going to make a nice juice as it sits overnight. The honey gives it a little bit of sweetness. There we go. You can see how good that looks. And then we will let that sit overnight and put together our bruschetta. So now we're going to start to make our actual bruschetta. So we're going to take a French baguette and we're going to cut that in about 1/2 inch slices. And we've got our pan heating on the stove at a medium-high heat. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on that. I just like to spread it out on my cutting board, drizzle a little bit of olive oil on it, just a little bit. Tiny bit of sea salt. There we go. And our pan's nice and warm, so we're just going to toast that a little. See that getting nice and toasty there in the pan. These can be done a few hours before. Just make sure you cool them completely until you put them in a Ziploc bag, but they will stay fresh for a day or two. So you can see how nice and toasty those are looking. Look at that. Just a little bit of toast, and you don't need to do the other side. It doesn't take long, so don't walk away from it. All right, there we go. Now we're going to put our bruschetta together. So now we're going to put our bruschetta together. I'm going to have this plate here, and I always like to put it on a bed of something, so it tends to slide around a little bit, especially if you're serving your guests. You want to put something down and make it look pretty there. So I like to use a little bed of lettuce. Spread that out there. And then we're going to line up our little toasts here. That looks nice. And I've got some balsamic glaze, which is basically balsamic vinaigrette that is reduced. So it's almost like a syrup consistency. I've also got some goat cheese, which we are going to put on our fruit bruschetta, which always makes it really nice. So we're going to use our bruschetta mixture and put it on our little toasts here. Sometimes you can use your hands, works a little bit better. And like I said, you can do your toasts a little bit beforehand and just cool them completely. Top that there. Looks great already. And I always like to put the goat cheese on last, so we'll sprinkle some goat cheese on there. You can see how that's coming together. You just need a little bit on each toast. There we go. Looks pretty. All right, now last thing, a little bit of balsamic glaze, and you want to put that on right before you're serving your guests. Just a little drizzle. See how that's coming on there? Look at that. Looks amazing. There you have it, your fruit bruschetta.